Have you ever met someone who's always busy yet never actually moves anything forward? So I actually met this person and worked with a Fortune 500 exec named Dave who lived in that cycle for years until one simple change took him from constant overwhelm to hitting 80% of his goals in just 12 weeks. And today I'll show you how you can also use the same shift. Let's start with a root problem that I see all the time. Most professionals set annual goals. So you might think, so what? Everybody sets annual budgets, annual goals, annual plans, annual targets. That's how the world works. Well, you're right. But for personal execution, annual goals simply don't work. And again, that's from years of experience. And let me show you why. The first point is annual goals destroy urgency. Okay, think about it. A 12-month timeline creates the illusion that you have tons of time until December, right? So January feels miles away from December. So execution gets pushed to later and motivation only shows up once a year when it's already too late, toward the end of the year. Number two, annual goals break accountability. And again, I've seen it tons of time. Most people look at the goals at year end. So without weekly or even quarterly check-ins, you don't see execution gaps until the year is over. And by then, nothing you can do to correct the situation. And point number three is annual goals dilute your focus. What does it mean? A full year encourages long list of goals and priorities. When you think you have unlimited time, everything feels important, which means nothing gets a consistent daily attention required for real breakthroughs. So Dave, our guy here, didn't fail because he lacked talent or discipline. He had actually a lot of talent. He failed because he was operating inside a broken time system. And the moment he understood that, everything he did began to shift. When I first suggested to him a 12-week cycle, I remember he pushed back immediately. He said, Dan, are you crazy? We're going to work in 12 weeks? That's way too short. I told him, exactly, and that's why it works. A 12-week year brings the deadline close enough to matter now. Suddenly, your horizon, isn't a distant December, which is, 360 days from now. It's close enough to feel real. It's close enough to force focus. It's close enough that execution can't be postponed anymore. And as soon as Dave made this shift, the noise disappeared. Okay, so what is that shift? He stopped thinking in terms of the year, 12 months. He started thinking in terms of this cycle, the next 12 weeks. Hence, 12 weeks is your year. This single change reshaped how he planned, how he worked, and how he made decisions. Here's what changed almost immediately. First, his focus narrowed. He couldn't hide behind 10 annual priorities anymore. He had to focus and choose the one or two goals or three goals that would actually move the business forward in the next 12 weeks. The moment he made that decision, his entire workload simplified. Second, urgency kicked in. With only 84 days, which is 12 weeks to execute, which is kind of your end of the year, he couldn't delay the important work anymore. Every week in those 12 weeks mattered every day. If you have 12 weeks, you cannot waste a total week. There was no later left in the system. Third, he started measuring his performance on a weekly basis. So instead of realizing in October that he was off track, which was way too late, he saw it on this Friday. And because he saw it on a weekly basis, he could adjust immediately, not months too late. Fourth point, accountability became real for Dave. He wasn't waiting for an annual review or some planning meeting in the future in the next couple of months. He was reviewing his progress, every 7 days and every quarter. That data made the truth obvious, right? Either he executed or he didn't. And finally, execution became non-negotiable. What does it mean? With shorter cycles, 12 weeks, he built momentum fast. The work became tighter, cleaner, and more intentional. His team felt a shift too, so he became a much stronger leader because clarity is contagious. By the end of his first 12-week cycle, which was extremely exciting for both of us, David was on the track of hitting 80% of his goals for that 12-week. That's an 8 to 10% X improvement in performance compared to anything he'd done with annual planning. So project X he was working on launched on time. Some pilot partners came in oversubscribed. And for the first time in years, he felt in control and, being proactive and not reactive. A few months later, he was promoted actually. Not because he suddenly got smarter or more motivated, because he finally operated and he showed it very visibly inside a system that supported execution instead of sabotaging it. And this is the real reason. Annual thinking keeps high performance stuck. I see it all the time. 12-week cycles unlock that clarity, urgency, and accountability required to actually work towards what's most important to you. So here's your challenge. Stop giving yourself 12 months. Pick one meaningful goals, 1, 2, or 3. Shrink your time horizon to 12 weeks. Review weekly, adjust quickly, execute daily based on your plan. Do that and you'll be shocked by how fast things can start moving in your direction. Now, if you want to go deeper into building a high-performance execution system, make sure you subscribe to this channel, watch the next video, and I'll show you exactly how to choose the right priorities every single week.